What's up everyone, this is Creeper Hunter and this is going to be the Rage 2 New Game Plus Speedrun tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be going over two different routes simultaneously, one that utilizes RNG and one that does not. Um, so yeah, if you don't already have a save file set up for New Game Plus from like a casual playthrough or whatnot, or if you don't own the BFG, linked in the description will be this save file. This has everything unlocked. All you have to do is download this and extract it, and then follow these instructions to install. If you're on the Steam version, make sure to disable the Steam Cloud sync, otherwise it'll just delete the save file. On the BethesdaNet version, I think just installing this should be fine. I'm not entirely sure. I personally have the Steam version, so I don't know. But it should just work. Once you've installed this, you might have to edit the save file just a little bit to get it ready for New Game Plus. So you would load it from load game. For me, I'll be loading save slot 12 because my file name is game save 15. So that's why I loaded save slot 12. A few things you want to make sure you have set up is to first be holding the BFG. The save might be holding the AR when you first load it. I'm not entirely sure. If it is, just swap to the BFG and then just save over it, over the save file, and you should be set up. Once you do that, exit to main menu, and now we can start running in New Game Plus. To do this, make sure you click the New Game Plus option and then load that same save slot. For PC, time would start on this load screen. Console, your time would start when you press spacebar or enter or whatever on this screen. The reason for PC starting sooner is because you can just kind of spam out of these menus, and we have a load remover, so you're able to not have to deal with timing and input or anything like that. So the very first thing, once you're done with that, is you're going to want to go into your keybinds, because I forgot to mention this a second ago. You want to come down to user interface, and you want to unbind game menu, and whatever this was bound to, just bind it to map. These two will effectively open the same exact screen, except this skips tutorial prompts, which is really nice. Binding it to map skips tutorial prompts, and having it bound to game menu gives you the tutorial prompts. So just unbind this and change that to map. Also, you're going to want to bind the vehicles menu so that you don't have to open the map and then tab over to the vehicles menu at all, which is really nice. Next, you're going to want to come into the general settings. Make sure you're playing on easy, and make sure, is it not? Ah, yes. Make sure skip ARC tutorials is set to on. If you don't do this, you're gonna have like a 3-minute cutscene every single time you do something, which is not fun. So make sure this is set to on, and make sure this is set to easy. Okay, once you've done that, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna spam out of those menus. You can spam spacebar. It says enter, but space works. And then hop out of the Phoenix. You're gonna run straight forward, and you're gonna stop once you get to about this like crease right here in this piece of metal. Then you're gonna open your vehicles menu, and you're gonna just call in an Icarus. And we are going to be flying to this arc over here, Quake Hill Arc. So we're going to fly this direction. About right here, if you own the Digital Deluxe Edition, you're going to get 2 extra menus. Just spam spacebar. It doesn't take too much time. So like that. I own Digital Deluxe, so I got that. If you do not own the Digital Deluxe, you will not get that. It's not that big of a deal, though. once you come over this piece of land, you're going to want to get a little bit lower, just because you have to land right at the edge of this mountain. Make sure you land the Icarus about right here or somewhere nearby, because you don't want to have to spawn it again. Next, you're going to just follow this path. Dash twice towards that door. Dash twice past that vortex. And if you've done everything right, this should just boost you upwards if you just sprint. Sometimes it just doesn't spawn, so you might have to use your vortex and pop yourself up like that. But it's not that big of a deal either way. So yeah. Next, just focused the arc, because we need it for Kvasir's XP. And this is where, if you had skip arc tutorials set to off, you would get a tutorial on how to use Vortex, which takes a little bit of time. But since we have it set to on, we don't have that tutorial. Once you finish this little animation, hold backwards and double dash backwards as well, and it'll put you about right here. All you gotta do after that is sprint and climb this ladder. And this is the part where both the RNG route that I mentioned earlier and the non-RNG route that I mentioned earlier, both of the routes will grab all of these things. If you're electing to go with the RNG route, grabbing data pads and grabbing arc chests are optional depending on how much XP you have at any given time. And that's going to be determined by spy drones that might spawn later. If they don't spawn, I'll still show all the, I believe, 7 different locations that we can get. The RNG route needs 2 total in order to have a run be completed. The non-RNG route does not need any of them. You just have to pick up every single arc chest and every single data pad that we pass up. It's up to you, whatever you want.
Walker, listen.
I personally do the RNG route, but yeah. So, you're going to grab this arc chest, this data pad, and then there's another data pad over here on this table right there. And there is one more on this table right here. Dash through these enemies, back in the Icarus, and we are going to be going to this authority sentry. Those are right up there. And once again, you're going to just land the Icarus. And all you have to do is shoot a BFG at that, and it's dead. Next, we are going to be going to Hardtop. This is going to be very, very, very useful later on in the run. We absolutely have to come here. Plus, it has a chance for a spy drone, which is 60 XP for Kvasir. This is one of those things where if it spawns, you can get it. If the spy drone spawns, just grab it, even if you're doing the non-RNG route, because you would save time later. Yeah. So you would land the Icarus about right here. And typically I would slam these enemies about right in the middle, because it'll pull these two and these two right next to it and it would kill them. Fortunately, I only got a couple of them. Oh. All you gotta do is clear this area. There might be an enemy over here. Yep, there was one. Is there another one? What the heck? I've never seen an enemy spawn right there. That's weird. Once you've cleared this, area, make sure to grab this arc chest. And if there was a spy drone, it would have spawned right there on those 3 little dashes on the corner. Essentially, what I do is when I'm flying here from that direction, I'll usually look for it. You can see like a little blue light, which will indicate that there is one. And if there is one, when you get up these stairs, instead of coming in here first, just turn around and shoot it. 1 shotgun shot will actually kill it, so it's not too difficult. If it's not there, just continue along this path, kill any of the stragglers outside, and then vortex up, and then do exactly how I did that. Next, if your Icarus was blown up, just open the vehicles menu and respawn it. If not, get back in. And we are going to be flying this direction towards this authority sentry. So just look for this like orange thing and then follow the road on the lower section. And just like the other authority sentry, all we're going to do is we're going to land right on this roof. Swap to the BFG. Shoot 1 shot at it. Hop right back in the Icarus. The next spot we are going to is the ruined shaft, which is directly to the right of where we landed. So just go over this bridge and under this one. Follow the road. Come right over these buildings. And land right here.
Damn crusher.
Fall off this little ledge where the ladder's at. And this is where we're going to use Rush for the first time. As you're falling down here, dash, and you should land about right here. You need to be over this little bump before you use your Rush ability. Otherwise, it'll just get canceled. So when you're about right here, just run. Once you get like in this tube, use your Rush. You're gonna go really fast. It should stop about right here. Just double dash, come over here. Dash through those enemies. Now we're gonna jump from here to there. It's a really simple jump. Might need a double dash. If you're going to use dash, make sure you dash as late as possible, so that as soon as you dash, you land on the ground. Otherwise, you're like stuck in this falling animation like that, and it's really slow. Once you've landed, just use your Rush again, because it'll be off cooldown. Follow this path. Once it's out, double dash. And now we're going to be jumping across this section. Single jump, and then just dash, and you'll pretty much always make it in the pipe. It's really easy. So this is the first boss that we're going to kill. As you are falling, shoot a BFG and look directly in front of you, like so. And it'll kill him. He'll be a little bit lower because he's going to be sitting down, since I pulled his aggro from up there, but he'll be in the exact same spot. He'll just have his hitbox a little bit lower. But yeah, that's all you gotta do. Really easy. Next, ride the elevator up, and there's going to be an arc chest we're going to grab. Again, the non-RNG route grabs every arc chest and every data pad that I point out, along with an extra arc, which the non-RNG route grabs every data pad and arc chest along with an extra arc, and the RNG route only grabs what you need when you need it. This is one of those, like all the early ones, all the early arc chests and data pads you want to grab for both routes though. It just makes everything a lot easier and a lot safer later on in the run. But yeah. Once you're out of the ruined shaft, get back on your Icarus. If you need to respawn it, that's okay. and we're going to be flying to this authority sentry. Just fly over this height right here, and we're going to fly up the left side of this mountain. And now the authority sentry will spawn. So just land about right here on the road. And once again, shoot a BFG. And hop right back in the Icarus. Next spot we're going to go to is Great Crack Arc. This is the second spot where you can get a spy drone, and I'll be showing that location as well. So just fly right off the right side of the bridge through this little lower section, lower like valley area in mountains. You'll fly right to it. You're gonna have to clear all the enemies out of this location, so kind of just follow this route. And the spy drone will spawn right there. If you get it, I got lucky, so I got it. They do fly away, so make sure you kill them as soon as you see them. Otherwise, you lose out on 60 XP, which is kind of bad. I usually slam these enemies, and there might be 1 or 2 stragglers left. But once you've cleared out everything, grab this arc chest. Come to this little spot right here and dash once, and you'll be put in the perfect spot to instantly start focusing the arc, which is really nice.
Security scanning complete. Welcome to Arc 408A.
Next, you're going to grab this ability. I think this is double jump. Yeah, it's double jump. Don't actually remember most of these arcs. Just like the other arc, walk backwards and double dash twice. Vortex up, double dash over here, and then rush right back to your Icarus. It's not here. Just respawn it. It is here. Get in it. And we're going to be flying off the cliff. I want to make sure I don't like actually die doing this. We're going to be flying over here to Ranger Refueling Station. This is the third location you can get a spy drone at, so I'll be showing that off as well. Make sure you fly high before flying off this cliff, because it'll just kill you. So, get about right here. And the spy drone will spawn on this little part right here. Right there. Grenade this little black box. They threw it away, I think. Oh no, we got it. You want to throw the grenade so that it hits this black box, and it'll blow up both of these. Then you're going to run and grenade the floor, like right in the center. And it'll blow up both of those. Next, run in here and grab this arc chest. Run out of here. And throw a grenade a little bit lower than you would think. If you're looking at one of these, it might like throw it back here and it won't get this one over here. So just make sure the like grenade beam is like right here and it'll bounce properly and get both of those. Once you have destroyed all 6, you don't actually have to kill any of the enemies here at all. Just destroy all 6 of those fuel canisters. Run over here, respawn the Icarus, and we're going to be flying to Gun Barrel. And this is where the first run killer trick is at. Although there is you can do like a normal way to do like a quest, and it wastes about 20 seconds or so. I'll be showing trick off and not do the trick. So you're actually gonna want to land right above the diner in the Icarus, and it'll just respawn you here for some reason. Don't know why. So once you've respawned, run into the diner and grab that data pad. All the way down the steps. Skip the cutscene. Next, you're going to run out of the diner. Make sure to grab this data pad. You need to get to this corner before Marshall finishes his dialogue, so that way she starts her dialogue. And her starting her dialogue gets rid of an invisible barrier that we need to jump over. If we were to jump over it before her dialogue and we'd fall down there, which is what we're going to do, it would respawn you up here and it would actually soft lock the game. So just make sure you get her dialogue to start. And this is where the trick comes into play. If you decide you don't want to do the trick, just activate the lever and then you'll ride the elevator down like normal. If you do the trick, this is where I forgot no board. So let me bring that up real quick. Because I am stupid. Okay. If you do decide to do the trick, there we go. All right. This is where you're going to want to be. Once her dialogue starts, you're going to run to this pipe. And there's not really any setup for this. You kind of just have to spam jump, which is unfortunate. You're going to be jumping into this corner, and it pushes you over this barrier, and you land up here on this roof. You're essentially going to be running this way, turning your mouse to the left, jumping into that corner, and just spamming jump, and hopefully you get up there. The very first jump off this pipe needs to be off the very, very, very lowest section of this pipe, so right here where I'm at. And you can know that if you stand right here, jump and then just tap forward or tap backwards. This is the level you need to jump off of. It's really strange. I don't know why this is a thing. But yeah. The way I do this though is I kind of just sprint off of this pipe, and most of the time it works. That almost worked. Once you get like level with the bottom of the roof, you want to turn your mouse to the right, and most of the time you'll just get pushed up top. I jumped way too early there. Oops, almost. I was stuck in the corner there. Once again, almost. There we go. Again, this is one of those things where you kind of just have to get a feeling for it. There's not really a setup, which is unfortunate because this barrier is really, really high for some reason. This is one of those practice things. Again, if this is too hard, just take the lever. Hit the lever and you'll go on an elevator that's about, I think, 30 seconds slower. It's not too bad. Once you get up here, though, jump to, like, this section, and you're going to fall down. Make sure you don't fall the whole way. That will kill you. Fall in, like, this upper section or right here first, and then fall into this top pipe.
There's an underground stream down in these old sewers.
Fall onto this pipe, and then you can fall down here safely. Again, falling the whole way down will just kill you, and it'll respawn you at the beginning of this quest in the diner. So don't do that. Okay. Next, you're just going to follow this path like normal. You want to dash before you get like behind this. I missed it. It's kind of hard.
That's what I am? A hired gun?
Next, you're going to rush. You're going to try to keep it the whole way. If you don't keep it the whole way, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's one of those things where hitting something like that with it, or even that small little bump will take your rush away. So I'm gonna make these really wide turns around every corner with rush. Next, just jump over this section and double dash twice, or double dash rather, and you skip going around that little area. And just like with the other arcs, focus it, pick up the item,
Please approach
and
for
then double
security
dash
scanning.
backwards.
Security scanning complete. Welcome to Arc.
Since we're in New Game Plus, after we pick up the combat shotgun, we're going to get a pop-up for a skin, so just spam spacebar. Get rid of it. And like I just said, hold backwards and then double dash. So mash out of that menu, double dash, kill the left guy. The left guy is what spawns these enemies and opens this door. If for some reason you don't get these two enemies to spawn, just run back to the arc, run inside, run out, and these two should spawn. Sometimes, occasionally, you'll double dash over the trigger, which doesn't extend the entire height of the door. It's like right here is where it ends, in the middle. So you can jump over it sometimes. So just, if they don't spawn, just run back in and then kill the left guy. Next, again, just follow this path, and then once you get here, rush and try and keep it the whole way. This is really hard. I'm probably not. Never mind, I'm going to get it. If your rush gets canceled, just use dashes in place of it. Doing that is actually really, really hard. Most of the time, I don't actually get that entire rush. But once you get around this corner, make sure you have at least one dash, because you're going to dash through this enemy that you can barely see. It's an exploder guy. We're going to dash this direction into the wall, and he's going to explode and push us down the stairs this way, which is really cool. So, dash into that wall, and normally he'd push you all the way down there, but since I kind of waited, he did not. But again, this is just a normal running section. Dash and rush when I do. After hitting this valve, I'd recommend reloading and then swapping to the AR. Double dash over that section. And you can rush here if you'd like.
I reached the turbine. Like you said, it's gummed up.
Right here, there's some ammo there, Grab that, and then just run to this valve. As soon as we activate the valve, there's going to be a boss that spawns here. Even though his health bar might not appear in the top right, you can still hurt him. So as soon as this animation is over, just start shooting at him. Like so. Once you see the skull, means he's dead. Just jump up here. And then you have to activate 2 levers. So you should get here before it activates. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Once you've activated this lever, run out here. Dash once, dash twice. And it should put you right in front of this lever. Once you've activated both, quickly get back to this valve, because this section is really short. And then just activate it. Once you've done that, you can look around for some ammo for a little bit. You have about 20 seconds before an elevator. The elevator here comes down. So you can grab extra stuff that you need. Once the elevator's down, just hit the button, and we have to ride it. Now, there is a small little skip that saves about 2 seconds. Once you get close to the door, about in the middle of this like circular bit,
Made me into the
just
killing machine
kind
I
of
am
start
today.
sprinting in
I figured.
this elevator.
You have that extra
It's about right
something
here.
about you. Like you've been trained
For some
to be
reason,
the fittest and the best.
She didn't make
sprinting
it.
while in this elevator
Was killed in
cancels
the
the
attack.
game from
I'm
taking
sorry to
away
hear
your
that.
abilities,
That explains why you're here, I guess. Filling in for
except
Prowler.
now it doesn't.
Whatever it takes to crush the
Normally, it would
Hey
cancel
there.
it taking away your abilities,
By the
and you would
way,
just double dash out
what's
of
your
this
handle?
Call me
elevator.
Walker it is.
It gave it back to me. Okay, I've never seen that. Um, I've never seen it do that. Okay. Normally it would just not do that, and you'd have it coming out of the elevator. Um, that's a new one. This game is always full of surprises. Talk to Marshall. Don't skip his dialogue yet, though. We're going to be doing that at the door right there.
Here I'll be able to start
But right behind him, there's a data pad. Make sure to grab that. And once you get to the door, start spamming your interact button, or whatever button you have bound to skip dialogue, and it'll open up the projects menu. Now, make sure you open up Marshall's Projects tab, otherwise the game will crash. So just make sure you open this and you cancel out of this menu. If you don't, the game will crash. Not good. Once you've done that, grab this data pad on the table and climb up the ladder. And this is the first optional data pad, first two optional data pads. I typically grab them just in case, especially if I don't have any. If I haven't gotten any spy drones, I'll grab both of them. In the non-RNG route, I don't think you have to grab them. I haven't done that route in a while, though. I'd grab them anyway. They're really quick. But yeah,
I gotta head out. Adios.
run up these stairs, run to the door, and it'll activate the door. And turn around, and the data pad's on the table. And just run out the door. And the extra data pad is right on this table. Again, these two are optional. You do not have to grab them. I do, just because it's a thing. Next, you're going to run up the stairs, and once you get to this little red section, see there's like a green section and a red section, open the map, and fast travel to Mutant Bash TV. Luckily in NG Plus we don't actually have to drive all the way from over there, so that's nice. Double dash towards the door, it'll start the cutscene. Turn to your right, or left, actually it doesn't really matter. Point is, just come where these stairs are at, and then the elevator's here that you have to hit. And this will start Mutant Bash. I typically use the shotgun on this arena. Makes everything easier. To start the arenas, you have to hit this like green little thing in the air. If you don't, it just won't start. Also, the game was about to crash. Okay, that's cool. Nice. First wave spawns directly in front of you. Next wave is going to spawn that way. So to the right of the entrance. And the final wave is going to spawn to the left of the entrance. That's the entrance. And it's going to spawn enemies here and behind you. So I kill the ones in front of me, and then I just slam backwards. And it usually kills about 3 or 4 behind me. Once it says you've completed it, exit. And most of the time, this ammo won't spawn. I don't know why. I just pick it up if you do need it, though. Again, make sure you run into the green thing. Otherwise, it won't actually activate the round. And for this round, you literally just stand in the middle and turn left and right. And you just shoot them as they spawn. Occasionally they'll spawn on these pipes up here and up there. That rarely happens. This wave is really self-explanatory. Like I said, it's just looking left and right. I kind of use audio cues as well to see when these are spawning. Oh, that guy just died. And if you get turned around in this room, the exit, which is over there, is always like parallel to the tip of the star. So just run that way. I get really confused in that room from looking left and right all the time. And more ammo if you need it. I'd recommend picking up the shotgun shells. You're going to need it later. And this is the room that you're going to swap to the AR. Normally I would dash here, but as you saw, I got this like weird little bump up. That won't happen normally. Just dash whenever you get up here, and it'll activate the wave. Stand at the door. Behind me is the exit door. You want to stand in the very center. And the way this room works is wave 1, it'll always spawn enemies on this side, and then this side, and then this side. How do I explain this well? It has a chance of spawning 1 or 2 enemies in this pattern. So this side, left side, right side, left side. If you get 2 enemies, that's good. That's perfect RNG. If you get 2 enemies here, again, perfect RNG. And then if you get 2 here, perfect RNG. If at any point you get 1 enemy to spawn on one side, the other is always going to spawn on the opposite side. So the first wave that I got, it spawned 2 enemies here, and it spawned 2 enemies here. So that's good RNG. If it spawns, say, 1 on this side the next wave, or the next enemy spawn, the second enemy will spawn on this side. So hopefully I actually get the 1 spawn. Okay, so I got 2. The first wave for this one is a total of 6 enemies. This one is 8. So 2, that's good RNG. There's 2. That's 2, good RNG. Okay, so the other enemy will spawn on this side. Or sometimes he'll spawn on this side. I don't know why it spawns occasionally on the same beam, but that happens sometimes. Wave 3, you have to kill the enemy spawning up here on the pipes and inside of the pipes. The other one should spawn on this side. Yeah, like that. Oh wow, okay, that was really bad RNG on the end. I believe there's 4 explodey guys and then 10 crawler dudes from the pipes. Once you're here, again, grab ammo if you need. Shotgun shells are important. You're going to want to swap to the shotgun before you enter this room. And also you're going to swap your grenades to the turret. By default, that is bound to X. So you cycle through the wing stick and then you get to the grenade, or then you get to the turret. And you're going to want to throw one in that corner, and over there before this activates. Because it'll kill all of the spawners here, there, and all you literally have to worry about is this section on this side. So the save will start with the grenades. Just double tap the bind and you'll get the turret drones. And then you use them as if they were a grenade. So, throw one there, throw one there, throw one there. slam it 1. And that should kill all the spawners. If you see some that the turrets aren't actually killing, just shoot them. You might need to throw an extra turret on each side. And once this middle section starts coming down, you're going to throw another turret over there and another turret over there. So right about now, you'd reset the turrets, because as you can see, they just blew up. Just overdrive, kill that guy, and then kill all the stragglers while running to the exit door. Sometimes this room is really weird. And just hit this elevator. You might need to spam out of this menu. I typically just spam jump. Next, after you've hit that button, get as close to this door as possible, because as soon as you enter this room, it starts a cutscene. Like that. You're going to want to skip it. On the table here, there is a data pad that you can grab on the way out. Once you get past these little spike things, open the map, and you're going to fast travel to the Chazkar Derby. Once you spawn here, there is going to be a data pad on this chair. This data pad's really weird to interact with. Sometimes, like, I'm almost looking at it, but it's not activating. It's weird. Just be careful when trying to pick it up. But yeah, there's that there. Next, make sure you hold whatever your dialogue skip button is, because she has some dialogue that if you don't skip, it'll soft lock this cutscene, which is great. So once you've skipped that dialogue over here, run into this cutscene and skip this. And now you got to do the race. You have to get first place, and there's no real way I can teach this, because this is completely random for the enemy movements. The fastest route is what I will be showing.
Yeah, I'll go. Just love it when
But this just takes a whole bunch of practice, and even I am still absolutely god-awful at this.
It means a lot to me.
Spamming the boost actually does make you go faster than holding boost. This turn sucks because you get popped into the air when you land and you have no control. Same with this corner. Next, we're going to be taking the left path here. And you're going to actually want to run into this because it'll bounce you properly this direction. Next, we're going to take the right path over here. Oh god. Cars in this game handle perfectly. Again, this is one of those things that just takes practice. That seemingly I don't have. Anything below a 3-minute race is pretty good in normal runs. So don't worry too much about getting a perfect time in here, just as long as you get first place, that's all that matters. Also, I'd recommend disabling music for this game, specifically for this race, if you would like to monetize on YouTube, because this entire race uses like 5 or 6 different licensed songs that get copyright claimed on YouTube. So, there's that. I would recommend just disabling the music altogether. I've had some terrible races, but this is probably the worst. Granted, I'm like purposefully going slow just to kind of show the route in like a kind of slow manner. But this was like garbage nonetheless. Okay. Once you cross the finish line, spam spacebar. You're going to get a couple of pop-ups. One for the Chaz car, one for something else. In the bottom right, there's a little saving icon. Make sure that goes away before you fast travel back to the Chaz car derby. If you fast travel before that saving icon, for whatever reason, it doesn't say that you've completed the race, and you would have to come back and do it. That would also kind of just kill the run. Next, once you've fast traveled back here, just turn around, and you're going to spawn the Icarus. And we are going to be flying to this pit stop boombox. And we're going to be flying over a couple mountains. Make sure you do this exact path, because you'll be high enough to get over certain things, like this. You would kind of just bump into the wall if you didn't fly through that. Same with this. And the Icarus is really bad when it comes to flying over things, ironically. This is another place where a spy drone can spawn. It would spawn over there. I'll show that like normally. When you get out of the Icarus, make sure you land in front of this like garage section and then hit this button. Swap back to your grenades. Throw it underneath the door. Throw a grenade at those. And a spy drone can spawn right here. So just shoot it like that if you get it. Throw a grenade right in the center, it'll get all three. Come over here, hit this button. If you have 9 out of 13 right now in the top left right here, you're good. If you do not, make sure you've gotten everything. Next, just throw a grenade down there and it'll get all 4. And then go back to the road and respawn your Icarus. Next, we're going to be following this road here, and we're going to go to the pain drain. This is going to be another location of a spy drone, and the first out of bounds in the game. So just kind of follow this road. Pretty much just going straight. And once you fly over this building, you're going to hop out right here. And the spy drone will spawn potentially right here. So just shoot it.
Damn crusher.
If it's there. If it's not, oh well. There's still more. Next, when you're running in here, swap to the BFG. And fall down this pipe. You're going to run up to like this goop on the ground. And you're going to vortex up this direction. I'm actually going to clear this room just to show this slow. Okay. You would run up here to this little goop on the ground on the corner of this like hole. And if you vortex up, you will grab that ledge perfectly. So just stand here and use your double jump. I didn't have my double jump for some reason. But you just grab this ledge. I'll show that again. A little bit slower. If you can't get the vortex, you can jump into this corner and then jump up normally, but this is way easier. So do that. I don't know why. Again, I didn't have my my double jump. That was weird. Point is once you get up here, fall down this section and come underneath this wall. Jump up here, and you're going to land in this like water section. And now you're going to fall off this direction, but you have to double dash before you get lower than like the land over there. So do that. If you fall down there, I think you can get back up like that direction and then dashing over here, but I'm not entirely sure. So just be careful. Next, we're going to run past this pipe onto this one, and you're going to watch for the save icon in the bottom right. Once you get that, you're going to reload the top autosave. So right about now, as you saw, it popped up here. And now I can reload this autosave, and it'll spawn me inbounds, which is right conveniently at the boss. You're going to fall down this pipe, and as soon as you get past, like, into the arena, you're going to shoot a BFG, and you're going to aim for the big goop on the wall. It's going to be very hard to miss, so you'll see what I mean in a second. So right now, you just shoot a BFG at that goop, and it'll always kill him. Yeah. Even though he jumps down here, he's still dead. Run through this door, grab this arc chest, and ride the elevator up. Now, if you are doing the non-RNG route, you will go to this next location that I go to. If you are doing the RNG route with the spy drones, you will just fast travel. If you're doing the RNG route, you will just fast travel to Wellspring. If you're doing the non-RNG route, we're going to be going to this arc, Earthscar. So this part can be skipped if you're electing to go for the spy drones. If you are not, this will be the route to Earthscar. Just follow this general path. Once you get to the road, spawn the Icarus. And we're gonna just kind of be flying over all these buildings. And once we get to Earthscar, we have to clear the entire location. Again, this is completely optional. If you're going for world record, you would not be doing this. Slam those enemies. There's going to be a fourth guy over here. Some extra ammo if you need it. Once you get your overdrive, just pop it. Kind of just spam. You'll pretty much kill everything while running up. So, I have killed everything.
Please approach for security scanning.
That's another spy drone. You don't need it at all. That's what they look like, though. Grab the arc. I mean, well, actually, no. I guess if you've missed an arc chest, you can possibly get that and then use it as a backup, so. If you need it, it's there. Possibly. Just try not to forget arc chests, otherwise relying on the RNG for that is really, really bad. Alrighty. Once you've grabbed the arc, again, double dash backwards, open the map, and you would also be fast traveling to Wellspring. So again, if you are going for the spy drone route, once you get out of the pain drain, you'd fast travel to Wellspring. If not, you'd come here, clear Earthscar, and then you'd fast travel to Wellspring. And this is where the two routes converge again. I'll still be showing off the arc chests and the data pads that you can grab just because the RNG route does require them, especially if you only get two spy drones, you have to grab everything. But all we're going to be doing is we're going to run to the guard in front of Lusum's office, talk to him.
I'm looking for the mayor of Wellspring.
And there's a data pad on that table that we're going to grab right after.
Mayor Hagar and her staff are in lockdown. Whatever your business, you can wait. Try another day.
You got to make sure
Don't try at all.
Kvasir gets to level 5 for both routes, so even though I had two spy drones, Kvasir is still not level 5. Once he's done talking, I'm not sure why his audio kind of cut out.
Nope. I aim to keep it that way. Nobody gets in, nobody gets out. The mirror has bigger problems.
And it's going to spawn enemies in this room. Just kind of kill them. You don't really have to.
Hear that?
So, datapad's on the table. Kill these guys. Kind of just waiting for the elevator to open. And once it does, ignore the enemies, hit the elevator, and then kill them. Their hitboxes might be in front of the door. Just kind of get as close to this door as possible, and it'll start the cutscene as soon as possible. And skip it. And I gotta kill all these enemies over here. There's like 6 that spawn initially, for a total of like 10 or something like that.
Pretty damn skilled, stranger.
Once she says that,
Coming up the elevator.
or once she says hear that, just get ready at the elevator
Once the door opens, they're walked into a fucking blender.
and just shatter them.
Fish in a barrel.
Woo.
Pretty simple.
You got the skill for the kill.
Next, you're going to grab the 4 datapads that are in
These goons
Lusum's
are
room,
thoroughly
which are
dead.
right here, on the bookshelf,
Expect from your boxed
on
in
this
little
table,
compound.
on the table behind her,
Different.
and on the table behind the table behind her.
Talk now?
Yeah. Let's talk.
And then you're just going to talk to Lusum, skip her dialogue, pick up the
Grab
gizmo.
Get into Clegg's office and
Once you've picked up the gizmo, you can ride the elevator down. And it's at this point, if you fast traveled from Chazkar too early, this is where you're going to know. The guard that we're going to be going to in a second here will tell you that. You need to go back to Chazkar and do it. So just, again, when you're fast traveling out of that location, don't do it too quick. Wait like a second or two. Otherwise, the run would die right here. But before we do that, run out of Lusum's office, down these stairs,
pow, pow, pow.
and to the vendor, and we're going to
Yeah, what'll it be?
spam buy as much BFG plasma capsules as we possibly can. So you can just spam the spacebar.
Pew, pew, pew. Zing.
Once you've gotten 7 out of 7, back out the menu, and we're going to run to the objective, which is over here.
Because you're a degenerate.
I'm here to...
Skip his dialogue again. Fast traveling out of Chazkar, like I just said, too early. He'll say that you have to go do it again, which is not good. So take your time during that section.
You killed it, champ.
Love your style.
Next, you're going to jump over this like railing, I guess. There's going to be a cutscene. Before you try to skip it, wait like a second and a half. Otherwise, the cutscene just won't get skipped. I'm not entirely sure why.
Hey,
So about right now, you can skip it.
I'm guessing I, myself, need no introduction.
And this is going to be the first section where we kind of just sit and wait.
Turned it into an empire. Of course, everybody knows the story of irresistible.
While you're in this elevator and in this room, just at some point swap to the BFG.
I know everybody wants to see the digs of the wealthiest and most
There's going to be 4 datapads we're going to grab in Clegg's office.
Here we are.
Make sure to grab them. If you are already level 5 Kvasir for both routes, both the RNG route and the non-RNG route, you don't have to grab anything. Any art chests or any datapads, you just have to get Kvasir to level 5. Once he's level 5, you can skip as much as you want. The first datapad is on the couch to the right of the elevator. The next is on the chair, next to the chair. And the last 2 are on the desk, right where the objective will be, which is going to be there. So there's a datapad here, and one right here. And once you grabbed all 4, if you need them, just stand in front of Clegg's computer. Again, at this point, you may or may not be level 5 Kvasir. Perfect RNG, I think you will be like 1 or 2, maybe 1 or 2 datapads off of being level 5.
So, being rich not enough for you? You cut out for something bigger, right?
But again, if you are already level 5 Kvasir, any art chests I show off and any datapads I show off and any spy drones I show off, you can just skip.
My father was a great man. He Everyone tells me he was a great
So yeah,
guy, but he built the base
I'll
of
still show off all of them just in
He
case
did, but
you
my
need them,
father-
because
my father, he lacked the vision
typically you
to
only
merge
get about 2
power
spy drones in
and
a run.
economics. He was a mayor, but he
So
didn't have the
you have to
humility
grab
to
everything, like I've said before.
I do not lack vision, people tell me, and I tell people that I will become the
But yeah,
most powerful man in the wasteland.
once he gets
What could
this phone
possibly
call,
be so imminent?
this is where gameplay is about to
Right.
resume.
Hold on a second. Oh, Killer Dilla Walker, baby.
This is the final segment of text. Once he's finished with this line, hold interact on the computer,
Right. Talk to me.
and then run back to the
All right,
elevator.
Gizmo is planted.
I know. It's already transmitting data. Good job. Now get out of there.
Next, we gotta ride the elevator down, and there's going to be a boss that spawns. Right before the boss, you have like, say 10 seconds to grab ammo. So I'll show off the ammo in there.
One more thing. How is
First, we have
decrepit
one
old
more
Wilson
cutscene.
these days?
It's the final one in the game. It's really, really nice.
Oh, surprised? Yes, I just got wind. Nothing escapes Clayton. Yeah, it's true. My spies and agents are working 27
Once Clegg says goodbye, Lucem Puppet, that is when he's going to throw you down into the boss arena, which is coming up in a second or two.
Surely your final moments. I shall let you in on my big reveal. Yeah, I got it all thunk out, you see. You see, I've got the most powerful player in the wasteland in my corner. Who? The Authority, that's who. I'm on a first-name basis with General Cross. So when they take over, oh boy, the sky's the limit. And all thanks to my extremely accomplished negotiation skills. I guess I'm just the best at everything I do, and you're just a stupid little...
And this is going to be the final dialogue that he has.
Well then, goodbye, Lucem Puppet. Goodbye!
Next, he throws you into the arena. And there's some ammo behind you if you need it. It's typically some shotgun shells, which are really important, so grab them. As soon as this cutscene is done playing, you can just shoot the BFG. And the boss will literally spawn right in front of you, so you don't really have to do much. That was hard. Next, you're going to swap to the shotgun, and you're going to run towards this door. And there's an extra data pad here, on this table right there.
Clegg is in bed with General Cross.
And we can't dally. I'm sending in a strike team for Clegg. He's gonna talk one way or the other.
Once you get around this corner, you can rush. And I purposefully canceled it there, but if you're going to rush out of here, make sure you're on the left side of this. If you're too low, it'll just cancel your rush. You want to keep it all the way to this door. It's not that big of a deal if it gets canceled, though, because you can just double dash. There's an extra data pad here. And instead of climbing the ladder, stand in front of it, vortex up, and then double jump, and you'll land right up top. Follow this path, dash behind that guy. Now the next room you have to clear before you get the elevator ding. There's some more ammo if you need it there as well. So make sure to clear this room as fast as possible. Usually a couple up top. I'm not sure why they're all up top. This is weird. This is not something I've seen before. What the hell? So the elevator ding just happened. You want to have everyone dead in this room before that happens.
The strike team is in the tower, standing by.
Next data pad is behind the elevator, on this little box in the corner. Once you've cleared the first wave, you don't have to do anything. Just gotta wait for the elevator to come down. There's gonna be 2 shield guys. To insta-kill them, just shoot their feet. Like, so. Nope. I wanna show this. Shooting their feet insta-kills them. Don't know why.
The strike team is in the tower, standing by. Shouldn't be
Another
long
weird
now.
quirk with
Hook me
this
up to their
game.
channel, so I know what's going on.
Yeah. Hold on. Go,
Again,
go, go!
just like with every elevator, stand as close to the door as possible.
Breach!
Skip this cutscene.
Took off
There's a
this
data
top.
pad to the left and behind the elevator, so you'd spawn here.
Where's he headed?
You'd turn left.
Likely to hide under his
And the data pad is
massive
on
skirt.
this trash can.
Well, at least we found the predator.
Next one is next to
Dagger's
these
looking
like
real
washer
good.
and dryer.
Head over to my office and we'll talk.
Next one's in this little corner.
Not only do the river hogs spit in
And
our
the final one that we're going to grab is
have the stomach.
just to the left of the entrance of Lusum's thing. This is another one of those that's just really hard to grab. This doesn't work sometimes. It's really weird.
Distillery by the creek and bring proof.
Again, all those are optional. If you already have Kvasir level 5, you don't need to grab anything. But if you don't have Kvasir level 5, then make sure to grab every one of them.
What have you got?
Next, you're going to talk to Lusum, but you're not going to skip her dialogue until after you've hit the button to go down the elevator.
So I
you're gonna
drove that
talk to her,
scumbag out of town.
hit
Now
the
looking for
elevator,
this-
now skip her dialogue, and it'll open up her projects menu. Back out of that menu, and you're already going to be going down the elevator shaft. This is really nice. Next, we're going to be fast traveling to Kvasir's home, which will be once you get out of her, like the city hall. Open the menu, and you're going to fast travel to Kvasir's laboratory. From here, turn around, spawn the Icarus, and we're going to be making our way to the Pain Drain. Or, Pain Drain, Filth Hollow, sorry. This is another location that a spy drone can spawn. It'll spawn right before the entrance of the nest. On these pipes right in front of me is where it would be. If you have it, it'll be, I believe, either there or there. Okay. It'll be in one of these two spots. I think it's here. Interesting. Yeah, so run through this. At some point, swap to the BFG. Slide through this guy, and then dash. Otherwise, you just can't get through him. I'm not sure why. There's an extra arc chest here if you need it. Once you get out of this that room, dash. You can run on top of this guy's head, no worries. Hit this arc chest if you need it as well. If not, you would keep your dash all the way to the valve. This guy's gonna spawn, so just shoot him with the BFG. Dash through this pipe, hit the valve, and we're going to be going... We're going to be flying, specifically flying to Kvasir's laboratory.
Ranger, the scrambler's all but finished.
And this is where...
There's one extra little piece of the puzzle I'm lacking.
This is where the game can kind of just break on you. If you fast travel during any quest dialogue whatsoever, it'll just completely fucking delete the character. I don't know why. Hopefully, by the time this video is up, this gets patched, but I doubt it. That's the whole reason we're going to be flying back to Kvasir's office, as opposed to just fast traveling there. If we were going to fast travel, Marshall would just get deleted from our game. This also persists across old autosaves as well. So unless you had a manual save, there's no way you can respawn Marshall. Oh, that's bad.
You know, twitchy little critter.
Whatever.
She's gone missing. Starting to think she might be in trouble.
Yeah, so once you get back onto the road,
Need your
spawn
help
the
again,
Icarus,
won't
and you're gonna just fly
you?
to
By my armory, will ya?
Okay,
back to
I'll be there.
Kvasir's laboratory. Just over here. And again, if you fast travel during any quest dialogue, with the exception of 2 spots, which I'll explain later,
Should be
that
it.
specific character will just
Where
get
are
deleted
you,
from your game.
Kvasir? I came looking for a Dr.
So, once you
Kvasir.
land in front of, once you fly over the little section, land right here, talk to the cactus,
Later.
and just jump across. Oh, I didn't actually skip his dialogue. Make sure you talk to the cactus and skip the dialogue, and then fly across. And we're just waiting for the door to open. Hit that little hand scanner and walk to the back. And you're going to slide through this section, kind of like that. You can do it a little bit earlier.
Solutions.
But I wanted to kind of
I
just
got
show it. Once that cutscene's over with, you're going to run to the hand scanner. And by the time you get here, you're going to be able to skip the dialogue. So just skip it. There's 3 sets. So just kind of press the button 3 times and then hit the hand scanner. Next, we're going to be fast traveling back to Gun Barrel. So just rush across the bridge, and we're going to be going to Gun Barrel. We're going to be talking to Marshall now. We have to go all the way back to him.
Power's back online. Outstanding work.
All the way down at the bottom of the bar. Diner.
Down here.
Talk to him.
So, what's the
Get on the ladder, and then start spamming
Here's
the
secret.
skip
They're not
dialogue.
immortal. They die
If
just
you get
fine.
up top here before you
I'll get
finish
around.
skipping all of his dialogue,
Ranger.
you're going to have to jump
Do
back
bring
down
that
and talk to
twitchy
him again,
snow sponge back
and
alive, will you?
climb the ladder and do all that again. I don't know why. Just weird thing. If you get too far away from a character, it just cancels their dialogue. It's strange. Yeah, once you've done that, run all the way back up the stairs, and we're going to fast travel to Gun Barrel, even though we are here. This is going to put us outside of the town, so we can skip waiting for that to open. Turn around, and once you cross this bridge, to get to about this like black line in the sand, spawn the Icarus, and we're going to be flying to this authority sentry. Which is almost directly in front of us. Pressing shift, or whatever you have boost bound to, raises your height. And I think this is like a default bind of control is lower. So, forgot to mention that earlier. Just like every other sentry, jump out of the Icarus, look at it, and shoot it.
Another authority sentry.
Next, we're going to be going to up top, and this is where another sentry drone can, or spy drone can spawn. But we will have to fly up the mountain. And the way I do this is I fly straight forwards and then over this little like hole in the mountain, and then up this way. So I go this way, that way, that way. You might hit the mountain, like I almost did, actually. But once you're up here, turn to the right, and up top will be right here.
Road choker up ahead.
Hop out of the Icarus. And the spy drone, if you need it, will spawn right there. Right there. If you don't need it, just hit the valve. And you're going to turn to your left. Jump off. Respawn the Icarus. And we're going to be landing the Icarus on top of this building, which is very, very, very important for later on in the future. So make sure you land it on top of this building. Be very, very careful with this. It can easily just blow up for no reason. And if you need another spy drone, there's one that can spawn right there on this, like, on the edge of, like this catwalk thing. It'll be on the concrete section. If you don't need it, just fall down here. And you're going to slam these two enemies down here. Kill that guy. Kill these two. Once these two are dead, this guy's going to spawn and the elevator's going to start coming down. Again, if you need this, grab this arc chest. I typically grab that one since this is just an auto-scroller. Once you've grabbed it, right up the elevator. Kill the guy if you want. Doesn't really matter. And this is another quest dialogue, so do not fast travel at all.
Gulo.
We're going to grab Gulo.
Sorry, Gulo. This gets a little messy.
And we're going to get on our Icarus.
The shroud had made me.
And we are going to be flying to this quest.
Up in a trunk recording this. Guessing I won't see you again.
And this is the final, what we're going to is the final area for a spy drone. And the final area for a data pad. You have to have level 5 Kvasir by the end of this next quest. Otherwise, the run is, it's dead. There's no coming back from it. So if you need more than 70 XP, by the time you get here, the run's dead. Slam these farther away, guys. Turn around. Kill a dude up there. Kill these, like, 4 on the ground, and then this will open once that one's dead. So, the final spy drone spawns, I believe, right there. So, kill that if you need. Some extra ammo. Climb these crates. And we're going to be double jumping up there. Hold spacebar. Or hold jump, rather. To float right here. If this jump's too hard, you can climb up the crates onto these boxes. Then you can mantle up here. Normally you would just grab this right here. And we are going to be jumping and grabbing that ledge. And hold spacebar and you'll grab this. And follow this path. Vortex up to this, like... Okay. Vortex from there to here. And you're going to want to jump onto this little section, and you're going to wait for not 1, but 2 autosave icons. You have to make sure you get the second autosave, otherwise it's going to soft lock your game and you're going to spawn at the beginning of the skip. Since I did it slow, I'm going to just get the second one now, but normally you would get here before the first one happens. So you would just wait in this little section until you get the second. Then you'd load your game, and you'll be put in bounds at the end of the little mission. hit the hand scanner, and like I said earlier, this is the very last time that you can grab a data pad. If Kvasir is not level 5, by the time you pick that up, the run is over. Every other arc chest and every other data pad that we possibly could find by this time is completely irrelevant because we're going to be starting Kvasir's second quest. We have to wait for this to hit the ground. The way I get down here is I kind of just sprint towards the glass right before this hits the ground, and it just kind of throws me off.
It's down.
You can either do this or just take the zip line, it doesn't really matter. Point is you have to get to this elevator before it's like open. So doesn't really matter if you fall the whole way or if you take the zip line from up top. Once you're in this elevator, swap to the rocket launcher.
Here we are.
Because we're going to be using it to stun lock a boss later on. Hit that button, double dash to this door,
Everything seems to be in working
and
order.
ride the elevator right back down. And we are going to be stun locking that guy.
I'll take care of him.
As soon as this opens, just shoot a rocket at his chest,
Just like the doc said,
like so.
authority mutants.
Double dash behind him. Shoot a rocket in the center of the blue things, and it'll kill both. Reload while he's phasing and kill this guy. And then just shoot his head twice. Once you have killed all the enemies here, Kvasir's dialogue will start. Again, do not fast travel. Kvasir will just get deleted from your game if you do.
Right. So now you're gonna get to finishing up your part of Dagger?
We just have to wait for Kvasir's dialogue to end, and then it'll open up the projects menu for him. Once that happens, we get out of that menu, we bypass that menu, and then we're able to fast travel. This is the final line he says.
Sounds good to me.
Projects menu opens. Get out of that menu. Open the map. And the reason why we went to hard top at the very, very beginning of the run is because now we can fast travel to it. Once you spawn here, turn around, spawn the Icarus. Oops. And we're going to be flying over this mountain to this quest. I typically just kind of go up this direction, like so.
Hello, Walker. My research
And you kind of just fly straight.
but I am lacking one vital component. Please come see me in my lab.
Hop out of the Icarus and just run through this little dungeon section, I guess.
The mortal shrouded.
Call it.
Same folks who took Gulo.
Use your rush and your double dash.
Inside and give me that intel. But be careful. They're assholes. But they're real tough assholes.
I'll get you what you need. Like I said, they died just fine.
Slam these two guys, and it'll kill them. You need to kill those two dudes over there, and it'll open that door.
Marshall, looking at a jerry-rig of pretty epic proportions.
Slamming not only hurts them from the slam, but it also blows up the barrel, so that it kills them in NG+.
Looks like those assholes did the job for us. Use the locust to download everything you can.
Plant the locust, and then now we gotta wait for the next door to open. So there's a couple
Data is pouring in.
ammo that you can possibly grab right here, right here.
We struck gold. I got
Just stand on the explosive barrel though, and next to the door. Just do this, kind of dash past them. You're gonna get stun locked here. When that happens, just dash, and it'll cancel the stun lock. Once you get past this little piece of concrete, open the menu, and fast travel to Gun Barrel. This is one of those exceptions where you can fast travel during quest dialogue. No idea why. It just lets you. Next, all we gotta do is talk to Marshall. And we gotta grab the item that's on the table.
Let's talk.
Talk to Marshall, skip his dialogue, grab the scrambler,
That little beauty.
climb the ladder, skip his dialogue, and hey, mission's done. Next, we are going to be fast traveling to Kvasir. Oh wait, no. Yes, we're gonna fast travel to Kvasir. The problem is we can't interact with the fast travel location. The way to fix that is hover over the icon, press F once, press it again, and for some reason this messes with the map's layers. So now if I were to scroll in and out while having my mouse on like the left side of the icon, as you can see, the bottom layer came to the top, and I should be able to just fast travel like so to Kvasir. No idea why that also works. It's really weird. But once you get that, just rush and double dash over to Kvasir's office. And we gotta talk to him. Oops, I slid too early. Talk to him, skip his dialogue, and then hit the hand scanner. Next, we are going to be fast traveling to Oasis, which is in the bottom left of the map. Right here. And we're going to be heading to the Double Cross mission. And along the way, we're going to be hitting a Authority Sentry, which is going to put us over the threshold that we need to level up Lusum to level 5. Once you get kind of out of the town, it's just, I don't know, it's weird. About right here, you're able to spawn the Icarus. And we're going to be aiming for between those two buildings in the front. And the Authority Sentry will be right at the bottom of this hill.
Doc, I'm approaching
Right
the
here.
genetic research station in the Dune Sea.
Again, just like the other ones. Jump out, swap to BFG, shoot it, get back in the Icarus, and then we're going to head to the actual mission. So over here, jump out again, kill these two dudes in the front, kill these two dudes in the back, and that'll open up the store. Dash all the way to the end of this hallway, then turn around and kill these guys. And then the hand scanner will activate at some point. If you need it, there's extra ammo here.
Yes, I found it.
If you don't, just head to the hand scanner. And Lusum's dialogue just finished, so we won't have to deal with potentially soft locking her out of your game, which is very good. And now we are going to be doing the double cross skip. So just rush down this hallway. And luckily there's a checkpoint literally right here. So if you mess up this trick, you just reload right there, which is really, really nice. You want to fall off this ledge and go down there underneath the map. And again, if you mess up, you just reload there. The way I do this is I just kind of walk backwards off this ledge, and I kind of look this direction, and then double dash, and you land on the little platform over here. you land right here, just walk on this higher section. There's like a barrier for that everywhere here. So just kind of walk backwards and then double dash, and you'll land about here, which is exactly where you need to be. Once you're here, just follow this path. And then once you get around that corner, there is a cutscene that you need to hit. Make sure you're like not on the right side of this wall. You need to be on the left. If you're too far right, you kind of just fall down out of bounds, and there's no way to like salvage it unless you reload from the autosave and do the whole trick over again. So just stay on the left side of that little wall, and you'll hit the cutscene every time. Next, once you get into the boss fight, immediately run to cross. And just shoot him with shotgun. Then run to these enemies and slam them. And on the opposite side of the enemies are these things that you need to break. Just swap to the AR. Hip fire it. Swap back to the shotgun. Hit cross again. You can slam these dudes if you have it. Swap back to the AR, and then right where these enemies spawn, which is right there, are the next three you have to destroy. So this one, and this one. Again, hip fire with the AR. Swap to the shotgun again, and just kill cross. Like so. Really, really simple boss fight.
Excellent. Forward to getting my
And then you're going to just rush to the hand scanner. And we have to do the fast travel to Kvasir trick one more time after we get out of this little area. Slide underneath this door. For some reason, if you get like right up to the door, it'll just instantly close for virtually no reason. So I just slide and dash through it, and by that time I'll have my rush back. So I'll just rush to the hand scanner from the door right there. Now we just gotta wait until we get to the top of the elevator. I usually use this time to reload everything, if need be. Dash to the end of this hallway. Dash down these stairs and then rush. Okay. Make sure you're about right here before you open your fast travel menu. Otherwise it won't let you fast travel. What I usually do to make sure that I can is I just hover over Oasis, and if it says fast travel, then I'm far enough. If not, close the menu, run a little bit farther, and then check again. Again, we have to fast travel to Kvasir. So just press F twice, put your cursor on the left side of the icon, and then scroll. And once the little white section pops to the top, move your cursor to the right, and it'll let you fast travel. Again, just double dash and rush if you have it, all the way to the end of this little section. This bit, you're going to have to jump over this, and dash to here. Skips having to wait for the bridge to form. Slide through that like that. Make sure you talk to the upper section of Kvasir. Don't talk to Legs. Yes, his name is actually Legs. It's really, really sad. But talk to Kvasir. Skip his dialogue. Insert the DNA extractor. Skip some more dialogue. Take that, and as soon as you take that, you can run to the hand scanner, and while you're running, skip the rest of the dialogue. And now all we have to do is go to Bluesome, back in Wellspring. So directly to our right. So we're just gonna ride the elevator and go talk to Lucem again. And then we are going to fast travel to Dreadwood, which is at the very north end of the map. In order to start Beneath the Surface, which has another skip. Well, technically two.
So, what do you got for me?
Talk
Hagar?
to her, ride the elevator, then skip her dialogue.
Follow the coordinates and see what I can dig up.
Good luck, Walker.
And if it says scout out Twin Falls or whatever, it means you have the quest and you are good to go. Once you get out of the city hall, open the map, fast travel to Dreadwood. Once you spawn, turn right and run this way. When you see this like red plant, it's when you can open your menu and spawn the Icarus. Now, the game can also soft lock here when we get to the quest, so I'm gonna go really, really slow. But we're gonna be headed, oh god, we're gonna be headed here to this quest. Kind of just follow this path. And there's gonna be a certain spot that I'm gonna go slow in, just for the sake of not soft locking the mission. So in the top left, it'll say search Twin Falls or scout Twin Falls or something soon. Should be coming up now. Okay, so right here, it's going to say travel to Twin Falls. Make sure you fly really low over this section and between like this thing over here and this big thing.
Let me know if you find anything.
Make sure it says look for signs of the authority up here before you go ahead. If you go ahead and you don't see this up here, the mission will soft lock. Once it says look for signs of the authority, fly next to this door. And you have one of two things. Well, I guess three things. Have the Icarus just spaz out. Okay. Okay. Fly next to this door. And you can either do an out of bounds now or do it in a couple seconds. I personally do it. I don't do this trick anymore because I found that the mission likes to soft lock. But if you want to take the risk, you can do this. This wall you can kind of just fly through, but you have to be going sideways. So get low on this wall, and then just fly through. Oh, God. Nope. I'm gonna fly out. Okay, I'm gonna fly out just as a precaution. But be low. Oh my god. Cooperate, please. And you're able to just fly through. I don't do this at all. But if you do this, make sure you mantle this thing. You get on top of the door. Turn this way. And run this direction. If you don't do this, you will not get a trigger, and I actually didn't get the trigger, which is a perfect example of why I don't do this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I would not recommend doing this, but if you want to, you can. This is a thing. What I do is I hop out of the Icarus, and I run through this area. There's some extra ammo. And as you can see, now I've hit the trigger for the quest. It now says get the fusion core. it says that,
Mountain.
you're good.
Bet this is it.
Yeah, I'm
You've
going in
done
to find out.
everything right up until this point. And this will not soft lock, so there's nothing to worry about. If you are in here or out of bounds and it does not say find a fission core, do not progress the quest. You will soft lock. So yeah. Once you enter that door, grab ammo from there if you need, and then jump onto the upper box right here. Turn around and there's like this little out of bounds section right there. Vortex up to it. And about when you fall right here, which is the same spot that we were just at earlier, by the way. So we flew in there, we came up here, and we were right here when we were out of bounds. Just come around here, and you will hit the trigger if you come through the door, so I'd recommend doing that. It's easier and honestly not that much slower. From up there, fall down onto like the rocks, and you're gonna run towards this corner with like a black floor that expands. In this little black corner, swap to your rocket launcher, and you can just kind of fall through the floor. Once you've fallen through the floor, you're gonna land on that little section there, the corner. That way you don't die when you fall down all the way here. Then you have to interact with this button and blow up these two little things right here.
It's working. Now for the other one.
And dash to the middle.
Fission core. Lasers look nasty.
You're gonna dash to the second little button we have to break. And turn around and grab ammo now. This left one takes a second to spawn in for some reason.
Lasers are down. Let's grab the core and go.
Double dash here and slam these enemies just so that they're out of your way. And then you're able to take the fission core before like the thing opens. Next, you're gonna just wait for this to spawn, and once it does, hit the hand scanner. And all you gotta do here, kill some enemies. Make sure not to waste too many rockets, you will need them later. If need be, use a health infusion. But in New Game Plus, you shouldn't really have an instance where your health gets really low there. Once you get all the way up here, you're going to come into this corner, look that direction, and once you hear that, now that noise that just happened, that really loud noise, double jump, hold forwards, and double dash, and you'll land right over this little railing. And we're going to rush right back to the door,
Lost you there for a while. What you got?
Well, I
jump
got
over
the
this
fission
railing,
core. Also, Blood Clayton is dead.
You killed
dash
him.
once you get about halfway down to the ground, otherwise you're going to die.
Those armless freaks just
And then
got
I
me
usually
down.
dash again, because you need to run into this corner from up there, so you come down here,
Cross
kind
was
of
not
follow
too
the
happy with Clegg's lack of
waterfall.
purpose. He was backing him to become mayor
And
open
once
the
you
gates of
get in
Wellspring
this
for
little
his
spot
hordes.
here, open the menu, fast travel to Wellspring. This is the second occurrence that you can fast travel during quest dialogue. Even if the quest isn't actually shown to be at Wellspring, do not freak out. Don't freak out if you don't see this. You may think you fast traveled too early. You didn't. It will give you the quest once you get to City Hall if you don't already have it here. I have it because I waited a little bit. But if you fast travel too soon and you don't have the quest here, when you get about right here, it'll pop the quest for you. And you'll be able to talk to Lucem. If by the time you get to City Hall and the quest does not pop up that you can talk to Lucem, that means you soft lock beneath the surface and your save is kind of messed up. Can't really
Make it quick, Ranger.
salvage it, including the autosaves as well. So make sure to follow that exact path I did in Beneath the Surface. Again, I'd recommend not doing the Icarus out of bounds, I'd recommend going inside the little building and using the vortex to get out of bounds. It's a lot safer. It wastes a little bit of time, but you're guaranteed to not soft lock the mission if you do everything properly. Next, we're going to talk to Lucem,
Hagar,
turn around, hit the elevator, and then quickly skip her dialogue once we've hit the elevator. Once that cutscene is over, you have to skip her dialogue again. If you don't skip it again, you're going to have to re-ride the elevator back up and talk to her. But if you do it perfectly fine, you'll finish beneath the surface and it'll give you the Project Dagger quest, which is right here. So to get there, we're going to fast travel to Dreadwood once again. Do the same exact thing. We get to this little red plant. Spawn the Icarus. Now you're going to kind of just follow this path that I do. There's not really a way for me to explain this. There's a road you can follow if you get kind of lost. I kind of follow it, but you can just follow this road on our right. The normal path is going through the trees. Some of these trees have collisions, some of them don't. This one I think does not. Yeah. Once you see that little section underneath that goes up, you can fly over that. Right up here.
All right, gang. I'm approaching the Authority HQ.
Don't go too high here, otherwise you're going to get leaving the game world, which will respawn you back at Dreadwood. Once you hop out of the Icarus, spawn the Xerxes.
I knew that. Just checking to see if you were paying attention.
And now we have a small little cutscene to watch right here.
What do you know? Predator ruse is working. Turrets aren't firing.
There's a platform just in front of the main gate.
And just like with the Chazcar and Chazcar Derby, if you spam the boost button, you go faster. Except in the Xerxes, make sure you're full speed before you start spamming, otherwise you will actually go slower. So just make sure before you start spamming boost, you're full speed.
Like I said, it worked. It scrambled the scanning process.
Person procedure Delta initiated. Please present DNA confirmation.
DNA sample.
Thought you had this shit planned out.
Please present DNA confirmation. Threat level.
All we gotta do is wait for this cutscene.
Doc, you there?
Ah, yes, of course. I have prepared perfect digital.
And this section's actually kind of hard. The tank dies really, really, really easily.
DNA analysis complete. Welcome back, General Cross.
And also the targeting system does not work all that well. I'm going to purposefully die in certain areas just to show you what I mean. Or I'll try to.
I don't know. Walker's gonna need some backup.
Sit tight, Lily. Don't rock the boat.
But just follow this path, and we have a small little cutscene coming out of this little hallway. So bonk into that thing, and then kind of get centered with the door over there. So behind that door is a Xerxes. Do not boost forwards. Just hold forwards and shoot the Xerxes. And do not boost until you get to the door. The hitbox of the Xerxes is going to just stay there, and you're gonna get launched in the air if you go too fast. Just go slow during this section, like that. The hitbox is still there. Destroy those bombs. Okay, I actually set this up for me to die perfectly. Anyway, there's another Xerxes here. Make sure you're on this section of the ground before you shoot it. if you are on this like downward section, which you'll see momentarily, the Xerxes shot will miss on this one, which is really bad. So turn this way and shoot it right about there. Dodge these barrels, and there's going to be another one right up there that we have to destroy. Again, if you're going on this upward section and you shoot, you will miss. So make sure you're level with the Xerxes. Hit it. And right about here, you get a checkpoint, thankfully. Right there. So if you die in this next section, you have that checkpoint to fall back on, and your Xerxes respawns with full shield and full health. And the way I do this part is I shoot this one, this little exploder on the ground. I then shoot the Xerxes on the right, and then I'll take the hit from the left if I have enough health, and then I'll shoot it, and I'll continue going right. So I'll try to do that really quickly. So I take the hit, shoot that one, and then I end up going right. It's very, very, very important you have full health by the time you get to those two Xerxes, otherwise you'll kind of just die in this little section. Just destroy these little exploders on the ground. When you're rounding this corner, boost into this little wall, and it's going to turn you perfectly into this door that's on the right that you can't see. So it'll boost you this way. If I was going faster, it would put me exactly right here. Once you're in this room, hop out of the Xerxes and just follow this path like normal. Dash when necessary.
What you and your senseless accomplices fail to understand is that
I usually rush right here. And all you gotta do for this room is clear out all the enemies. I'll usually clear out those three, and then I'll overdrive, because then it'll have these guys spawning in front of me. And if you killed everything, aside from some of the stragglers, this hand scanner will activate. Make sure you kill these three guys, because you need to get your overdrive back for the next room. So just kill some if you don't have overdrive. Some extra ammo on this wall. We gotta wait for this elevator to get here. So once you've hit that hand scanner, you're going to be jumping off of this little box down to this section down here. But you have to do it after, like you jump down once you bypass like this catwalk, otherwise it'll just respawn you all the way over there. So just hit the hand scanner, wait a little bit before you jump down. You can get on top of the box though. So now jump down, hold spacebar during this, and it'll put you over the barrier. Dash on that section. Overdrive and then kill these enemies. It's pretty self-explanatory. The last guy's right there. If by chance you, when you dash into this room, nothing spawns, just run over here and through, like that section. What would happen is you just dashed over the trigger, so that's why I fell down and dashed when I got to about right here. Once you've cleared this room, though, dash and rush whenever you need. There's some extra ammo here if you want it. You don't necessarily need it. You do need a lot of rockets at this point, though. So make sure you have like at least 15 total. There's some ammo there. Grab that before you hit this button, otherwise this boss might soft lock. And just like the other one, shoot him in his chest and we're going to stun lock him. This one has a little bit more health, so I'm gonna have to shoot him a couple more times. Once he's phasing, just reload your rocket launcher. Kill him with the shotty, run to this little door here. Now you can either hit this hand scanner, or you can run into this right corner. Land on this little gold section. Jump up and land on this upper gold section. And climb up here. This is kind of hard, so if you're having troubles with it, just wait for the hand scanner. It's not too... doesn't waste too much time. They give you extra ammo here. This is where you grab your extra rockets if you absolutely need it. Hit that cutscene, skip it, swap to the rocket launcher, and you're gonna shoot 2 rockets in the middle of these. Like that, and it'll blow up both of them. You have to do that for each hand. Like so. And then he'll move backwards. This first wave of enemies, you're going to kill these guys up here that spawn in right about now. They can only take damage once the platform is fully down here. So like that. Shoot him with 2 rockets. Swap to the shotgun. And now, the enemies on the other side, so this guy, and this guy, ignore them for right now. You need to kill the 3 guys that just jumped up from like this area over here. So this guy, and this guy in the middle. And then it'll progress the wave. These 3 and then the next 2 that spawn in after killing these 2 are the only ones that matter for progressing the boss fight. The stragglers you can kill as the boss is coming back. I usually get my overdrive, and then like that. As you can see, I killed the 2, and then killed the stragglers, and then he comes back. And if you have extra overdrive, you can use that. Shooting these things. If you don't have extra overdrive, just swap to the AR and just shoot it. And once again, enemies are going to spawn on each side, this time right here and right there. For these, I slam right about now. And I'll dash over here and shoot a rocket. Then swap to the shotgun, start overdrive. Kill those guys as I'm walking backwards. Kill these guys. 2 of those little blue dudes are going to spawn, 1 right here and 1 on the other side in the same spot where the other enemies spawn. If you shoot this guy perfectly, like I just did, he will fall off the map and just instantly die and you don't have to worry about him at all. If you don't shoot him perfectly, just shoot his chest like I'm going to shoot the other one. So, shoot his chest, the blue section is where you can damage him. And now all you have to do is swap to the BFG. And as soon as the cutscene starts, that is time. So that'd be time. And that is all of Rage 2 New Game Plus. Everything, every resource I mentioned, along with some extra stuff like spy drone locations and whatnot, I'll have that linked in the description below. Along with the Discord as well. If you have any questions, that's the best place to ask, is in the Discord. We're more than willing to help. And we want to see a lot more people run NG+, because it's way better than any %. Yeah. I hope this is helpful. Again, if there's any questions, ask in the Discord, and we're more than willing to help. But, yeah. That is NG+. And, thank you guys for watching.